Here it is, it's now open. Welcome to Gold Rush here at Drayton Manor. We followed a little bit of the construction as it's headed to its July opening, and it looks fantastic, and the area looks fantastic. We were quite, what's it going to be like? The floor was all tarmac, but actually it's been finished really, really well. Now there's quite a lot of old scenery pieces from various bits, which you may notice. Some other bits have been brought in. We've got the bark finish here, we've got a nice stone finish, and it's a loose stone finish as well. It's like, proper gravel sort of finished. We could see last time that there is a fountain. There's some old theming from various rides as well, old rides which you may recognise. But of course, everyone is here for Gold Rush, the brand new Intamin lift and launch coaster. So in this video, we're gonna go and ride Gold Rush for the first time, and we're gonna let you know what we think of it, our honest review of it. And obviously we will show the ride in action, show you around the area and everything that Drayton have put into it. I don't know whether it's finished yet, or whether they are planning to add a little bit more to it. There are some areas I would say we could add a bit more theming, but they've done quite well. There's some trees planted, there's some bushes planted, and actually the area looks really nicely finished. But first things first, let's show you the ride and get on board. We're heading back into Gold Rush. We'll try and take some of this theming in. Some people might remember some of this old theming from around the park.
Oh yeah, actually. Oh, that looks good. Look at that.
Welcome to Gold Rush. Before riding, please remove all hats, bags and glasses and place them in the storage compartments on your exit.
Let's give it another go and see if we can get one of the different cycles.
Falls. The spirit of the Gold Rush lives on. The golden flame Gus, respected and struck gold, right here, built this mighty mining operation from the ground up. Years ago, I found this first glittering nugget here in these canyons. From that moment on, Frontier Falls has been a bustling hub of activity.
Wow, there it is, Gold Rush, the Intamin lift and launch coaster, brand new for Drayton Manor in 2024. What a ride that is. Again, I go for the fact it is a family thrill ride with a low height restriction. Don't be expecting Hyperia. Just come with an open mind that, this is designed for families, thrill ride for families, and it delivers. It delivers. It is so graceful in the way it goes round, really, really graceful. It just sort of glides around the track really, really nicely, and the fact that you can go sort of different routes as well really adds a bit of mystery to it. Now, we have been on it 3 times. We only experienced, sadly, one of the routes, which is the going up and then dropping backwards down the lift hill. I have to say, because this one's going all the way over now, I have to say, I would imagine dropping at the bottom of the lift hill backwards, as it's the longest point, is going to be the more thrilling of the 2 cycles. I could be wrong, and if anyone's been on it and has dropped forward, by all means let me know. but it's just so graceful in the way it does it. So as we said in sort of our intro, we knew it did 2 routes, and you know, we were hoping that we would get one of each at very least, but we've been quite lucky to get on it 3 times, to be honest. Queued about 35 minutes from it, just from the other side of the tunnel area there. And as we said, there is a pre-show, or a show, in the explosive shed. It's really good because when you make your way through the queue, there's plenty of posters, there's plenty of places to actually stop and look at the ride as well and take in the experience. You can sort of see above you, so even though it's covered as you walk into the tunnel part, once you're through the tunnel part, there's a lovely open space where you can hear everything that's going on in the explosive shed. Even though you can't see it, you can hear it. And then you are going around a little snake bit before ending up going down towards the actual barn area itself. I say barn, I don't quite know what it is. I guess it's a mining barn. And of course that's all undercover as you go along. So it's quite nice as well, because where the track passes over you actually has shelter over the top. So there's none of this netting or anything that you get on a lot of rides. This one actually has made it part of the theming, which is really, really cool. Now, as we said, the launch actually I didn't think was going to be that powerful, but where you come to a complete stop and then it has to either push you back this way, well, it has to push you back this way, either forwards or backwards, back towards the lift hill. It's a really snappy launch, to be honest with you, a really snappy launch. And it's got some power behind it. As I said, going first backwards down this lift hill into the corner and into the back half of the track is really quick, like really quick. You can't feel it coming, you don't quite know what's going on. It's very, very disorientating. Once in the explosive shed, there's some beautiful, beautiful scenes in there. There's lots of smoke in there, there's barrels in there, there's really, really good lighting in there as well. A little bit of a storyline. And then you're shot out either forward or backwards, depending what route you've taken. You'll then come back round to the track, back up the lift hill. Obviously, if you're facing backwards, you'll go back down through the explosive shed. And there is a little bit of a launch. It does sort of top up the speed. Not a lot, it's very difficult to notice, but it does sort of top up the speed before coming around this final piece and back. And then obviously, if you've gone over the top, you will still end up going back around the track, through there, and exactly the same process. It's really weird, the fact there's 2 different layouts. Now, there is actually a good explanation screen as you go in, on TV screen as well, which says there's sort of 2 mining tracks, and that's the way you look at it, is 2 mining tracks. And I still find it fascinating, even watching it, that it can go either direction, and you can have 2 different routes through it. And you know, seeing it go up the lift hill backwards is really peculiar, to be honest with you. I just find it really, really peculiar to see. And it is really random as well, because we've seen it go over forward quite a few times, and all of a sudden randomly it won't, and it will drop backwards. And even when we went on it the final time, we saw it go over the top, and we thought, well, there's a chance it might go backwards, but kind of hoped it wouldn't, because there doesn't seem to be a rhythm to it. And then we did go backwards again, but then the following 2 ones as we were filming it both went over the top. So I don't know whether the operator's controlling it or whether it's completely random, and we were just a bit unlucky with it, but it gives us an excuse to come back and test it. As we said, the ride is so graceful, it's really, really smooth. The cars themselves seem quite high off the track. For some reason, you just seem quite high in them. There's 6 rows per sort of car, and there's 4 cars. So 24 people can load into the car at the same time, and there are 2 trains which they are operating, with one on the track at all times. Got a nice Wild West show as well. And as you can see, it's really weird seeing it go up backwards. This one's gone straight over, and then you go down forward to repeat back through the explosive shed and back out. The theming's actually really, really nice, to be honest with you. The theming in which Drayton has put in over the last few years has actually been quite nice. Adventure Cove, we've praised heavily. The Vikings as well, we've praised heavily. It looks really good, and we've seen obviously all the work they've done all down here and all around here and everything, and it looked really great. As I said, we were a bit worried about the floor and some other areas, but it's been finished off really, really nicely. They did say it would be a fully immersive theme. I'm not sure it's a fully immersive theme, to be honest with you. You can still very much see what's going on around you. It actually works at its benefit, because with the Zamperla coaster over there, the Yumangi, whatever it's called, you do get, you know, have a potential to get some really, really close sort of, what's the word, sort of like a dueling effect as you go past it, which is really nice interaction, which you wouldn't get if it was as immersively themed and completely as its own as it is. But actually, where it kind of sits by itself, and it's all behind quite a tall fence as well, as you can see, you know, this is a good 5.5 foot fence going round it. It is quite enclosed, and I love the way, as you can see with the entrance just here, that you go through a tunnel, You know, it's nicely themed in there. You've got some posters on the wall. It's all been coloured very nicely. It looks really nice. The waterfall's nice. Some of the scenery bits are nice. As we said, we don't know whether they're going to be adding more to it. But there it is, Gold Rush at Drayton Manor. Have you experienced it? I have to say, it's a unique coaster. It's definitely a unique coaster, and it's something we should be really proud of in the UK, and it's something that Drayton Manor desperately, desperately needed. Love it. Absolutely love it. Leave your comments below. Have you been on Gold Rush? What do you think of it? Are you coming to Drayton Manor for it? We know a lot of people don't come to Drayton Manor, but with the wave this year, Gold Rush this year, and all the work they're doing, honestly, it's a bargain day out